Hey friends, welcome to the Anton Zachor Show, and today's episode is brought to you by Tess, who has requested that we check out the song I Got You by one of my favorite artists now on the channel, Nick Carter, off of his 2002 record, Now or Never, which we already did a song by Nick Carter off this record. So just type in Anton Zachor or Nick Carter, you'll find that. And for anyone who somehow doesn't know who Nick Carter is, like I didn't know who he was 2 years ago, he's an American singer and member of the vocal group the Backstreet Boys, who obviously started their career in, I think, 1989, if I'm correct. But Nick is the heartthrob, passionate guy who I've definitely grown to love and admire. At first, I liked to make fun of him because he was just, like, I felt overly passionate, but now I'm just like, that's just Nick Carter. And now I love him for all the things I used to make fun of him for. But anyway, before we get into this one, make sure you guys stay to the end of the video because I'm going to be revealing how you can win a free song quest and get exclusive bonus content. And that's it. So let's get into Nick Carter, I Got You. Produced by Max Martin. Ooh, beautiful.
People tell me you stay where you belong, but all my life I've tried to prove them wrong. They say I'm looking for something that can't be found. They say I'm missing out, and my feet don't touch the ground. But there are moments when you can't deny what's true. Just an ordinary day, like when I met you. It's funny how life can take new meaning. You came and changed what I believe in. The world on the outside's trying to pull me in.
Wow, sure, man.
They can't touch me 'cause I got you.
This is so 90s. Kind of reminds me of Celine Dion, the music.
Oh yeah. I want to thank you.
I like that change
All
up.
the things you've done.
Amazing video.
For choosing me to be the one. It's funny how life can take new meaning. You came and changed what I believe in. The world on the outside's trying to pull me in, but they can't touch me 'cause
I love that note.
got you. And it hits me
Oh.
when I reach
Always on his knees, man.
that I'm afraid you won't be there. Maybe I am in too deep, but I don't care.
Classic Nick. Ooh, I like that. Yeah. I love this side of him. Very Bryan Adams again.
What's true, no, they can't touch me.
I love Nick, man. I love the background vocals too.
No, they can't touch me 'cause I got you.
Wow. Okay, so that was Nick Carter's "I Got You." Man, I feel like every Nick Carter song I listen to, it just like it deepens my appreciation for Nick. I feel like I love the Backstreet Boys. Obviously, you guys know how much I love the Backstreet Boys. But what in the Backstreet Boys, it's very hard to get a feeling for who they are individually. You know who they are as a collective. Again, it's like, it's a silly example, but bear with me here. It's kind of like the Avengers. You know what I mean? It's like, it's very hard for me to show you an Avengers movie and you to be like, oh yeah, I intimately understand who Tony Stark is, or Thor, or like any of the characters, Captain America. It's like, the Avengers is like, it's the grand spectacle for after you've got an emotional connection with the characters by themselves and their own stories, their own personal stories. Their own stories are always more personal than the Avengers movies. And I get the same thing with Backstreet Boys. It's like Backstreet Boys is like the Avengers. It's like the culmination. In some sense, I almost wish they did their careers backwards, where they all had solo careers and then they came together to create like a super group, because I feel like I would have had a deeper understanding for all of them individually. Like, I never knew who Nick Carter was from the Backstreet Boys, because he'd only do the bridge, or he'd fall on his knees to do the dramatic part. You know what I mean? The part I always make fun of. But hearing these two Nick Carter songs, and I think he wrote the lyrics to these, or at least hopefully he co-wrote them. Because I want to believe this is actually, I'm listening to his thoughts and his feelings, because I could relate to a lot of these thoughts and feelings. And it's like these last two Nick Carter songs, I'm like, yeah, man, I really feel you. Like, I really, I understand you a lot deeper, and I can relate to you on a much deeper level. Like, I can very much relate to Nick and his passion and his deep sensitivity, man. This guy is deep. Nick is extraordinarily deep. Again, that's where you get the passion from. The passion comes from the pain, the feelings, the hurt, the love, the excitement, the inspiration. It's like sensitive people have access to everything, like every spectrum of emotion, the lows and the highs. And they're like conduits of amplification. And that's what Nick Carter is to me. He's one of the most passionate people, and I love that about him so much. And I'm definitely going to have him on the podcast one day, for sure. Like getting to know him more, I'm like, he's a shoo-in for the podcast. These are the kind of people I'd love to talk to. Like, people that have had difficult lives, people that have been transformed, people that have evolved. And I want to, get to know him, and have him tell us all his story and what were the most challenging parts of your life, who are you now? Because I think he's a father now, right? Which is a huge thing for me, because I've always wanted to be a father. So it'd be great to sit him down and be like, yeah, what's it like being a dad? You know what I mean? Like, what drives you? What motivates you? What did you want 20 years ago? What were the biggest things you wanted 20 years ago? And do you have them yet? Do you feel whole? Do you feel complete? Like, are you happy, truly happy? Not just bullshit facade, you're the mask you wear of the world, but are you, if you died, tomorrow, did you accomplish, and not accomplish, because I think a lot of the time we get caught up in accomplishments, but did you experience the things you wanted to experience in this lifetime? You know what I mean? That's the kind of stuff I'd want to talk to Nick about when he comes on the podcast, is just yeah, I really get to know him, because I love him, and I love his Bryan Adams influence. You can hear it in the bridges, not always. The verses you don't always hear it, the chorus you don't always hear it, but in the bridges, he's obviously a huge fan of Bryan Adams from the bridges, because his bridges and Brian's bridges are very similar. The way his voice, and I just love how much he pushes in the bridges. It's that's where you get all of Nick Carter, is in the bridge of a song. That's when he comes alive. He's like, all right, it's my time to shine. You know what I mean? But yeah, let's jump into the lyrics in this one now. All right, we're back. Nick Carter, I Got You. So, man, even this first line, this kind of reminds me of my life. But people tell me you stay where you belong. But all my life I've tried to prove them wrong. They say I'm looking for something that can't be found. They say I'm missing out, that my feet don't touch, that he's a dreamer. Dude, me and Nick, I feel like we're going to become buddies sometime, for sure. I feel like we're going to be texting each other and stuff, because this is how I feel, man. I've always been a dreamer. is something my dad always kind of didn't like about me. You know, it was always literally like pretty much everything here is like my number one, you know, obstacle or challenge in my life growing up. And even to this day is always my dad's opposing nature, right? Everything I want to do with my life, my dad doesn't want me to do. Like he wanted me to follow the corporate route, get a job, that kind of thing. And, you know, just do that grind like he did, right? In some sense, he wants me to do that because he had to. He even says it sometimes. He's like, I paid the price. I had to work my ass off, you know, and I feel like you need to as well. You know what I mean? Because I had to, right? And it's like, you know, yeah, he's always told me like, you know, you're too sensitive, you're too emotional, all this kind of stuff, right? And then so my entire life I've been like trying to prove my father wrong. You know what I mean? And a lot of time failing and starting to right now succeed finally after like 2 years of, you know, constant bombardment of like, okay, when are you gonna finally give up? You know, when are you gonna just like, he never saw it. It was funny. My mom always saw it. My mom, when I started, she's like, yeah, I know you're gonna get big. My dad, no. He was like, literally up until like 2 months ago, he wanted me to quit. Like it was just crazy. Like he didn't get it. You know what I mean? It's like I've always been fighting my father's disapproval. And now I'm finally at the point where I'm just like, look, man, like I'm literally in the process of making it. So stop. You know, stop with your bullshit, because you're just projecting all of your insecurities, your failings, your inability to do what I'm doing. Because my dad's a dreamer too. You know, he, like my mom tells me this sometimes. She's like, yeah, when I met your dad, he was a dreamer. He was, you know, we met in Toronto and he was always talking about these big things, you know, getting a place in Argentina, getting a place in Mexico, getting a place in Costa Rica. And it's like, so like a lot of me, I'm starting to see that like, you know, me and my dad share this core thing, but the difference is my dad gave up on it. Like my dad got to a point where he just gave up on his dream and in some sense himself. Because when you give up on your dream, you're really giving up on who you are. Because you're just, okay, I'm going to settle for a life that everyone else can lead, you know? But there are moments when you can't deny what's true. Just an ordinary day like when I met you. It's funny how life can take a new meaning. Yeah, this is also, this line hit me out really hard because I'm feeling that right now. Like as I've told you guys, like the podcast is really starting to get like crazy. Some of the guests that I'm in contact with like would blow your minds, like how big and wealthy and who they know. Like, you know, I was talking to somebody who is literally friends with Tony Robbins. I literally befriended someone recently who's like friends with like Paul Chek and Aubrey Marcus, who are like massive people in the podcasting world, especially in like the self-help spirituality kind of thing. And I'm just like, shit, I'm literally about to be walking through a door that like to a world I didn't know was possible, a world that I've been dreaming of for years, that I wanted to get into, and I wanted to do big things in the world and inspire people and really inspire myself. Like I wanted to live a life that I was inspired to live, and so far I haven't done that. I've been paving the way, but you know, the life I'm living right now is amazing on one level, but not what I want. I spend too, like, you know, in my mind, I'm spending too much time in a home making content. You know, I need more. I want the life I envision for myself has way more balance. Has, you know, as Nick Carter was like, I see myself traveling, adventuring in different countries, Costa Rica, Peru, Thailand, you know, Europe. Like I see myself moving more, you know, and not, I see myself living because I want to live and doing things because I want to do things, not because I need to survive. Because right now I'm at the end point of a survival thing where I'm like, you know, I got to just grind this out. And then one day I'll be able to have my freedom. I'll be able to live how I want to live. And I'm finally like, when he's saying it's funny how life can take new meaning, I'm like, I'm right there. I'm starting to see this new life unfold. It's like I'm literally, you know, the conversations I'm having with people in the world, I'm like, I'm literally watching as this is unfolding, and it's blowing my mind. And like, I couldn't even sleep last night. I was so hyped, like literally. I got invited to to a party in Costa Rica with like a big time YouTuber. I befriended a really big YouTuber, and he texted me yesterday. He's like, "Hey man, I'm throwing a party in Costa Rica at the end of the year, and you know you're invited, and like it's gonna be some really big thing." And I just like last night I was just like, "Fuck!" Like I'm so like excited for like the first time in like 2 years. Actually, maybe the first time in my life in some sense, in a really big way, in a real way. I'm excited about reality. I'm not excited about a dream. It used to be I was excited about a dream that had this loose feeling in the back of my head. Now I'm excited about the reality that's occurring around me, that is starting to happen. And now I'm like, fuck, all the things I used to dream about is like literally coming true. It's like all of these things, I'm starting to see how I can actually do this. Because before it was like, okay, I have a dream, I'll just keep making content, I'll keep getting bigger, and then somehow the road forward will be shown to me. I don't know how, I don't know who, I don't know what, but it's gonna happen. And now it's like literally in the process and it's blowing my mind. But you came and changed what I believe in. The world on the outside is trying to pull me in, but they can't touch me because I got you. I got you. I want to thank you for all the things you've done, and most for choosing me to be the one. Wow, that reminds me of me too. I think me and Nick Carter, we come from a place of self-worth challenges. I realized recently I don't love myself as much as I thought I did. And I'm still craving and searching for mentorship and for a father figure in my life, because I never had that. And it seems like in some sense Nick, it feels that way with women. Like he like, again, think about that word, and most for choosing me to be the one. He's like, I can't believe you chose me. I love you so much, and I've never been chosen like this. People have settled for me. People have wanted me because of my fame, because of my looks, but you're the first person to choose me for who I am. I feel like that hits me. It's funny, yeah. And it hits me when I reach for you, that I'm afraid you won't be there. Maybe I am in too deep, but I don't care. Yeah, man. And I can relate to that too. I've lost myself in love before. I've lost myself in relationships. Yeah, I'm the kind of person that, like, very quickly I'll start dreaming about the future, kids, houses, family. Like, like Nick said at the beginning of the song, like, we're dreamers. We just can't help it. Like, for whatever reason, like, I just dream. Like, period. I'm always inspired, I'm just like, what if? Again, that's the mind of the inventor, right? What is an inventor? Someone who dreams about things that don't exist yet and brings them into the world. It's like, I have that dreaming mind. I create things that don't exist. I create realities that don't exist. And I do my best to make them real and to turn them into realities. And sometimes I'm like, am I in too deep? You know what I mean? This feels so crazy. Where would I belong? I got you, yeah. I want to prove them wrong. I've got you, yeah. You can't deny what's true. They can't touch me, yeah. I got you. Man, well, this was Nick Carter, I Got You, and this was an absolutely phenomenal song with a beautiful message that I related to very deeply. And how about you guys, though? What do you think of Nick Carter's solo career, in relation to Backstreet Boys? I love them both, but I love them for different reasons. I love this because I'm getting to know Nick as a human being. I love Backstreet Boys for the sheer epicness. Again, it's like the Avengers. It's just like, whoa, a spectacle. Like, it's like AJ and Howie and, Brian and Kevin and Nick, and like, it's exciting, you know what I mean? But this is very sensitive. This is very grounded. I love this. But yeah, let me know your thoughts down below. And now for the big reveal. So if you want to win a free song request, like this video, share this video with one person you think would enjoy it, comment who you shared it with, and leave your request in the comment. And remember that submissions need a minimum of 10 million views. And this is not the case with Patreon requests. So if you're interested in guaranteed song requests without any limit, full album reactions, and much more, join everyone in the Patreon. Link in the description below. And while you're there, definitely join everybody in our Discord community. You can hang out with myself there. That's where definitely the best place to find me and talk to me. Hang out with everybody, all of our community members, and take part in all of our community events, which are a lot of fun. So definitely jump in and join the Discord community. And that's pretty much it. So I just want to thank all of you for hanging out with me today. I really appreciate it. And if you resonated with this video and anything I talked about, and you want to help support me and the show, definitely like this video, subscribe to join the family, share this video to win that free song request. And if you enjoyed, like I said, anything I talked about, definitely consider checking out my podcast. I talk about a lot of this stuff. That's kind of the main thing, is like growth and healing and mental health, that kind of thing. So definitely I recommend checking that out. And that's it. So I'll see all of you in the next episode. I love you. Bye.